Good morning, everybody. We're here sitting with Smoosh. For those of you who get confused, her real name is Brooklyn, but she's so cute, you just want to smush her. You just want to squeeze her in a big hug and just hug her and squish her. So I call her Smooshy because she's just so cute. And we are continuing to learn and read from the website hairtoday.com, and I'll put the link in the description. Today we're reading How to Transition to a Raw Cat Food Diet. Transitioning to raw food for cats is something that the majority of us will have to do until the time comes when people grab a kitten from its mother's teat and start feeding raw cat food from the beginning. But in the meantime, it's a major issue in cat nutrition. This step-by-step approach and patience will work for nearly every cat. Kittens need no transition. They take to raw cat food like ducks to water. They eat the same as adult cats, just more of it and more often. Kittens need about twice as much per ounce of body weight as an adult. All that growing to do. Their stomachs are small, so they need to eat more often than adults, about every 4 to 6 hours. If you're getting a kitten, start them off right and you won't have to worry about transitioning them. Also, kittens should be introduced to raw, meaty bones so they learn how to eat them when they are young. Most kittens will readily tackle a chicken wing if offered. If you already have an older cat that will eat raw, meaty bones, be sure to let the kittens learn from the older housemates. The kitten will copy the behaviors of the obligate carnivores around them, adolescent and adult cats. We'll look at this in 3 stages, from dry to canned, from canned to raw, adding raw, meaty bones. The key to any transition is patience. The transition can be fast or very slow. In my household, transitioning to raw food for cats took about 5 seconds for some of them to 3 whole months for another. I have read about cats that took a year to transition. However long it takes yours, stick with it, it's worth it. The transitioning tips below use the slow, gradual method. It usually works. Usually, for some cats, nothing seems to work. Give these methods a try and don't give up too soon. I thought Kai would never switch, gearing myself up for feeding him separately forever. I turned around one day after 3 months and found him with his face buried in a plate of raw rabbit. I don't usually advocate using hunger to help transitioning your cat, other than the normal mealtime hunger of 12 hours or so, but you can try it if your cat is particularly stubborn. If your cat is adult, healthy, and not obese, you can wait her out longer if she refuses to eat either canned or raw meals. How long can a cat go without eating? I wouldn't go longer than 36 hours. Be aware that any cat, especially an overweight cat, is at risk for hepatic lipidosis if they don't eat every day. Holding the camera in that angle hurts, Smooshy. I gotta hold it in this angle. Here we go. Whatever your cats eat at present, it's always worth a try to just offer her some raw cat food. She may surprise you. See if she will eat some cut up raw chicken or turkey or some raw chicken liver. If she does, well, this may be easy. From dry to grain-free canned. Cats become addicted to dry food, so this may be the hardest step, especially if your cat doesn't also eat canned. For cats that will only eat dry, first, stop free feeding the dry stuff. Your cat does not need to have it available at all times. Eating 2 or 3 meals a day is fine, as is going 12 hours between meals. You want your cat to associate it with a person, you, not a place. Start bringing out it at regular meal times. Cats will learn the new routine very quickly. Leave it out for 30 minutes and then put it away. At first, you may have to have more than 2 meal times per day. Cut back to 2 or 3 per day after a week once your cat gets used to the whole idea of meal times. Put out one bowl for each cat in separate rooms if necessary, so each cat feels relaxed about her meal. Your cats will get hungry, but that's good. Nothing enhances a meal more than having an appetite. Just make sure each cat does eat every day. Once they seem used to meal times and are coming to you for their meals, start offering canned. Choose a quality, grain-free canned product. Avoid fish, as these overly strong flavors are addictive, to the point of refusing other flavors. Fish is not ideal for cats and should be fed sparingly as an occasional treat only. Try putting their dry food on a flat plate with a little of the canned on the side. If they won't eat the quality canned brand you choose, try a different brand. Use a lesser quality type if needed, as the goal at this point is to get them eating canned at all. They may ignore it completely, but it will get them to start associating the smell with dinner. Give this a week or so. If they still aren't interested, next try putting out a plate of the canned with some of their dry food on top, whole or crushed a little. Being a little hungry makes them more likely to try something new. They may just pick the kibble off. That's okay. They will be getting just a taste of the canned with it. Keep at this, even if you end up throwing away the canned. Try different canned products. Your cat may like one more than another. If it looks like your cat is nibbling at the canned a bit, try putting out just the canned next time and see what happens. Some cats can be tempted by the gravy in some of the cans and lick it off. That's a step forward for a confirmed dry food addict. Try some meat baby food. Some cats will eat this even if they refuse canned. Try letting them lick it off your finger. If they will eat it, put a little on top of their canned meal. You can try putting a little canned on your finger and putting a little in your cat's mouth. Only do this if it won't stress out or frighten your cat, as you definitely don't want them to have a bad association with the new food or be afraid of you. You can also try topping canned food with a dehydrated meat treat. Cats love Halo, Leva Littles, freeze-dried chicken, and wild-side salmon treats. Both of these are 100% meat, dehydrated into cubes. These products appeal to dry food eaters as they are similar in texture and the taste and odor are irresistible to most cats. Keep in mind that it's a treat, not a meal. Another good bribe topping is shaved bonito flakes. Mine love kitty caviar, which I used on raw food when transitioning them. Again, use fish products sparingly, not routinely. You may ask, why can't I just soak the dry food in water? From Dr. Lisa Pearson, DVM at catinfo.org. Dry food has a high bacterial content. Mold is also often found in dry food. There have been many deaths of dogs and cats secondary to eating mold, mycotoxins, vomotoxins, and aflatoxins, which often contaminate the grains found in dry food. If you want to try the trick of wetting down the dry food to alter the texture, please leave it out for only 20 to 30 minutes, then discard it. Bacteria and mold thrive in moisture. Keep offering canned, plain or with a bribe topping. Don't give up, no matter how long it takes. Even if it takes months and months, really it's that important for your cat. Eventually they will figure out that this really is food. Keep any dry food you have closed up as much as possible. Put it in an oversized Ziploc or a large Tupperware type container, and then in a room the cats can't get into. When they get hungry, they will try to get to it. Once your cats aren't eating canned food, get rid of the dry food altogether out of the house. Cats have an excellent sense of smell. If it's in the house, they'll know. Don't get discouraged. If your cat turns her nose up at something she liked just the day before, this isn't unusual. That's how cats got that reputation for being finicky. Just try it again next time. Also, it isn't unusual for a cat to act ravenous one day and not be overly interested in eating the next. Don't worry about it if it happens occasionally. Here's a tip. Take notes, especially if you have more than one or two cats. Note which cat likes what and which flavors. You may have to try a lot of different kinds. It helps to have a record. It's okay at this point if your cat only likes one kind. Getting her off dry food is what's paramount. Always try to get your cats eating a quality, grain-free canned food, but it's acceptable if at first they will only eat a lesser quality food. Just be sure to transition to quality grain-free canned or raw cat food for the long run. Once your cat is off dry food and is used to mealtime, give her at least a couple weeks of this new diet. Then start on the transition to raw food for cats. For cats that eat dry and canned, this one is easy. Get rid of all the dry food. Give them a couple weeks to get used to an all grain-free canned diet with regular meal times, and then start to switch to raw cat food. Smooshy, it's time to take a coffee sip. We have our coffee mug that says Cat Mom, and then it has little kitties on it. Coffee is so good, Smooshy. Coffee is so good. Let's switch hands and pet you on the other side. All right, from grain-free canned to raw cat food. First, try out some cut up raw chicken or turkey or chicken liver on your cat. Some cats go for it immediately. Most of my cats took to raw food right away, but it helped that they were young. Kittens take to raw food with no problems. The younger the cat, the easier the transition will probably be. For your first try, either buy some commercially prepared raw cat food or make some homemade. My cats liked most of the different types of meat I tried: chicken, turkey, pheasant, quail, and duck. Their paws down favorite is rabbit. This makes sense, as this is probably the closest to what they would be eating naturally. Or they just know it's more expensive than chicken. Vary what they get so they don't get fixated on just one taste. If they don't go for raw cat food right away, there are a number of things to try. Don't give up. Make sure the raw food is warm. Think mouse body temperature. Don't microwave it. Microwaving cooks the food and reduces the nutrients you've been so careful to obtain. Put it in a Ziploc type baggie and place it in a bowl of warm water for 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how thawed it is. It's sometimes easier to then cut the bottom corner of the baggie and squeeze the food out. Put their canned food on a plate rather than a bowl, and put the little raw food next to it. They probably won't eat it, but that's okay. The idea is to get them used to the smell of it and to start associating that smell with their meal. As you may have noticed, fresh raw meat has a very slight, subtle odor. Cats that are used to smelly canned food may not recognize it as edible at first. Mix a little of the raw food with their canned food. With my reluctant Kai, I started with a 1/4 teaspoon mixed into his meal. This is a tiny amount, and he would still sometimes eat around it. I kept at this amount for a few weeks, and then, oops, she's adjusting. Oops, okay, here we go, pretty girl. Where am I at? And then upped it to half a teaspoon for another few weeks. I kept offering it to him plain also on the side, but he never touched it. I increased it to about 1 teaspoon and kept it there. Hey, cat, I can keep this up forever. He surprised me after 3 months by suddenly changing his mind and eating a plateful of rabbit. Unless this happens with you, just keep increasing the percentage of raw food slowly until it's all raw. Keep giving your cat the opportunity to eat a plain raw meal. Be patient. This is a big adjustment for your cat. Let her guide you as how fast you should go. Try bribe foods sprinkled on top. Only use these if you need to. You don't want them to get hooked on these foods. Here are some toppings that worked for me. Shaved bonito flakes. Use scissors in the can to cut it up into smaller flakes, something like oregano size. It doesn't need to be refrigerated, but I kept it in there anyway so the cats can't get at it. They can smell it through the can. Grated Parmesan cheese. Hey, it's Italian night. Brewer's yeast. A good source of B vitamins. Don't use baking yeast. Don't use brewer's yeast on cats with digestive issues as it can cause bloating. Also, it can be allergenic to some cats. Organic catnip, just a little. Crushed dehydrated treats. Cats love Halo, Leave a Little's freeze-dried chicken, and wild side salmon treats. Use fish products in moderation. Juice from water-packed tuna or salmon. Once your cats are eating raw cat food, be sure to introduce chunked meat into their meals if you haven't already. For their dental health and for their jaw muscles, cats need to chew using the sides of their jaws. Cats who have only ever eaten canned food haven't had to do much chewing, so you may have to start them gradually. I add chunks, usually chicken, to all my homemade food and most of the commercial raw cat food I buy. It's more time consuming, but my cats are worth it. I hope to forestall expensive dental problems down the road. I add small pieces, about a 1/4 inch square on average, but some twice that size. At first, some of the cats ate around them, but shortly they were all chewing away, and none of the chunks was ever left over. Start small and gradually increase the size up to the biggest your cat will eat. The lack of chunks is probably my only complaint with commercial raw foods, but you can always and should add your own to any thawed food. Raw meaty bones. This is the term for meat with bones, fed whole or in parts. Cats can eat small, whole, raw chicken parts or other small birds. Getting them to do it is sometimes the problem. I have one cat, Thodin, who is crazy for chicken wings. She will go nuts when I take any baggie out of the fridge, thinking she's going to get a wing. She picks it up in her mouth and runs off to a favorite spot in the kitchen and chomps away. She eats almost all of it, usually only a small bone piece. She'll pretty much eat as many as I'll give her. I'm getting so I love to hear the sounds of bones crunching from the next room. If your cats have been eating dry or canned food for a long time, it may take a little time for their jaws to work up good chewing muscles to be able to tackle raw meaty bones. Start with boneless chunks in her ground food. Once she's had some practice chewing on hunks of meat, try her out on a small chicken wing. I didn't have to teach Thodin to eat meaty bones, but the others had to be enticed, encouraged, and taught. Here are some ideas to try. Try introducing raw meaty bones when your cats are hungry. They are more likely to give it a try. Roll a chicken wing in a bribe food you know they will like to encourage them to try it. I have had success with finely cut bonito flakes. Put the flakes in a baggie, add a chicken wing, sort of like shake and bake without the bake. A few of the cats would just lick off the flakes, but I got one to start chewing away on it. the very first try. Add smaller, meaty bones to their regular meals if they are already used to eating chunks. Try other small game birds or rabbit. They might hate chicken but love Cornish game hens or quail. Use your cat's natural instinct to copy. If you have one cat that will eat raw, meaty bones, give it one when all your cats are hungry and let them watch. They know that cat has something good. After they show some interest, get out another and see if they'll go for it. I know this sounds a bit unusual, but I've seen it work. Use whatever method that gets them to better cat nutrition. Yes. Okay, what's the next article? Smooshy Mooshy. Oh, this is a video. 20 minutes? No, let's not watch that. Let's see, how long have you been talking? 20 minutes? We got 10 people. Let's see. Don't let calcium phosphorus ratios scare you. Oh my gosh, and it's got a picture. It's got a picture of a cat chomping away on a little mouse. Ah, outdoor kitties. They're awesome, aren't they, Smooshy? It is widely known that cats have a dietary need for both calcium and phosphorus. Calcium is required by the body not only for bones but also for muscle control and ion balance. Phosphorus is important in the formation of bones and teeth and also plays vital roles in cell membranes and energy processes. Phosphorus is a structural part of cells. This is why meat tissue has high levels of it. Phosphorus is attracted to calcium, forming calcium phosphate, which is what gives bones and teeth their strength. Just as important, and possibly even more so, is the ratio of calcium to phosphorus in the diet. Like big cats, the domestic cat is an obligate carnivore whose ancestral diet of whole prey would serve to provide the proper amounts of both these minerals in the ideal ratio for cat nutrition. This is because by weight, the cat's typical prey consists of about 7 to 10% bone. So the meat cut chicken with skin, an approximate bone percentage. So I'll put the link in the description, and in all of the articles, it'll have additional things like this. I'm not going to read off all of that, but you could go and explore it yourself. I'll just say, what's the highest one I see? 30, 60. The highest one I see is that the neck is 75% bone. And then the lowest one I see is a rabbit, whole fur and all, is 10% bone because it's the whole rabbit. Got it. All right. What is the ideal ratio and how can you ensure that your cats are getting proper amounts of calcium and phosphorus? Calcium to phosphorus ratios are typically written like this, 1.1, whatever. We're going to skip the numbers. We're just going to talk and skip the numbers, with the first number representing calcium and the second phosphorus. The ideal ratio of calcium to phosphorus in the feline diet is approximately 1.1 to 1. However, the ratio can vary without any adverse consequences. Daily balance is not as vital as the overall balance over time in weeks to months. How can this ratio of calcium to phosphorus be achieved in addition to ensuring that your kitty gets adequate amounts of both of these vital minerals? The answer is simple. As mentioned previously, most prey species the cat would eat, such as mice, small birds, and rabbits, consist of about 7 to 10% bone by weight and yield a ratio of about 1.1 to 1. Therefore, to achieve the proper calcium to phosphorus balance and properly mimic the ancestral diet, we can feed approximately 7 to 10% raw bones as part of the diet. We have provided a chart with the approximate weight percentages of bones for commonly fed bone-in cuts. If you are making your own ground raw cat food, they have a recipe. I already actually read it. To ensure the correct calcium to phosphorus ratios. Alternatively, bone meal, dehydrated bone, or eggshell calcium may be used in the appropriate amount. This will vary depending on the actual product used. Lastly, commercially available pre-made and pre-balanced raw cat food meals are available. Remember that each individual meal does not need to be the correct ratio. Rather, the ratio needs to be balanced over time. Feeding a meal of chicken necks, which have a bone percentage of about 36%, is fine as long as it's balanced by a meal or meals with a lower bone percentage. Adequate amounts and proper balance of these two vital nutrients is extremely important to your cat's health. Too little calcium in the diet can result in calcium being pulled from bones and may lead to fractures, weakness, and even seizures and death. Too much calcium can lead to growth problems or increased bone density, leading to orthopedic issues. Too much or too little calcium can contribute to constipation. Inadequate phosphorus is extremely rare but can lead to hemolytic anemia and acid base imbalance. Excess phosphorus is not known to be a problem, except with cats with compromised kidney function. Remember that daily balance is not as vital as long-term balance. Feeding an improperly balanced diet for days to a few weeks is not likely to be a big problem unless you have a growing kitten. Beyond this time period, a lack of proper calcium to phosphorus balance is likely to result in health problems for your kitty. If you follow the recommendations above, this should not be a concern for you. Dr. Eliza Katz is a graduate of Ohio State University and is the owner of Natural Pet Animal Hospital in Bourbonnais, I don't know how to say that, Bourbonnais, I don't know, Illinois. She practices holistic and integrative medicine, focusing on proper diet and nutrition. Dr. Katz shares her home with 4 kitties and 1 dog. And then the article has these resources. Okay, Smooshy, that's enough. We talked for 30 minutes almost. You're so adorable. Yes. Quite fun learning about all this stuff, huh? Yeah. Okay, tell everybody to have a wonderful day. Goodbye.